Hi Taurus. I'm going to finish my water spirit series, so we are out here today on the river. This is going to be a little different than my other set last summer. I'm not going to be going up and down the river today. I'm just going to be sitting here. This is my fifth or sixth time restarting your reading. It's going to take me a while to get back in the swing of these. Bear with me. This is going to be a little bit slow. You might want to just wait a couple readings for me to get back in the hang of it. Anyways, this is going to be a weird one. Okay. There's an energy here of needing to find acceptance for yourself, find forgiveness. Forgiveness will help heal your inner child. I get that for a lot of you, you are creative people. You're meant to be creatives, but you faced a lot of rejection in your life. And it's like that rejection, it might have even been in your childhood. That rejection kind of like haunts you. It makes it hard for you to create now because you relive that and you live in fear of people criticizing your work. For some of you, it's might be painting specifically. It's not like, and you know, this is speaking to myself as well because I do this too. It is very healing for your inner child to do things that brought you joy as a child, whether or not you're good at it. That's, you know, like I start painting sometimes. I have a painting that I started last year that I have done maybe like a fourth of it and then just never touched it again. And it's not even that it's it's pretty good, honestly, from my perspective. It's just because it was not like immediately easy for me to do it. I like get like annoyed with it and don't want to do it. And there's different creative projects that I start and then I never finish. And it's not even because it's hard or I'm not good at it. It's because it's not immediately easy for me. But yeah, it gets you like, it can get you in life where you don't see the beauty in life because you're being so hard on yourself. You're being so hard on yourself and you're expecting rejection around every turn. So you make yourself smaller, or you kind of accept where you accept a lifestyle, or you accept, like, I know a lot of people that do this, accept like a career that you don't really want, that doesn't really speak to you, that you don't feel fulfilled in. And I think that there's a difference between finding a job to pay the bills if you have this creative pursuit and you have a passion. I think passion is what gives us life. I think passion is an essential part to youth as well. You know, like a lot of people, when they think that someone is younger than they actually are, it's typically because it's, I mean, like appearance wise, obviously, but like it's also like you can have a young spirit. I feel like a lot of neurodivergent people have a younger spirit, and that a lot of them look younger. A lot of people with ADHD and autism tend to look younger than they actually are, but they also act younger. And part of that is like, you know, brain development. But the other part of that is, you know, having like a childlike sense of wonder, having a passion. You don't have to always, yeah, look, I was talking about, somebody's a painter or you are an artist. You don't have to throw yourself into your creative work. That's something that I've done here, where I've taken a step back. I've been doing other things to work, because when you turn your passion into something that you rely on for your livelihood, you become very strict with yourself, and it makes it difficult for your creativity to flow the way that it needs to, and you allow criticism to get to you. I get criticized for stuff I put up here all the time. It's my family criticizes me a lot. That's I started doing my my water spirit series last summer, and I ended up quitting because I was criticized really harshly by like multiple people in my family, and it just made me to where like, why am I even like spending hours out of my day putting myself out there, being vulnerable, sharing stories that like it's hard for me to share some of this stuff anyway. I'm just doing it to be helpful to others because I know it's healing, and I get your messages, and I get you know, I read them. My email is disabled right now, and I'll fix it eventually. It's just like I have to, I don't want to burn myself out again, so I have to be careful not to overwork. But it got to where like, why am I even like it's not fun to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and be scared and have people like talk shit about you, you know? Like, I get it, but you still have to find your passions. You still have to get to a place where the criticism doesn't get to you, because half the time the people that gossip and criticize you, it's like they're doing nothing with their life anyway. They're doing nothing with their life, and they sit around watching other people try to do something, and they criticize and judge when like you wouldn't be able to do this anyway, you know? I had I'm just gonna put it out there because she talks shit about me all the time, so why don't I talk shit about her? I have an aunt that like, I have multiple aunts that harass me, but one of them had finally stopped. She doesn't bother me anymore, but I've cut her out of my life completely, and it's been a work in progress. Another one that I've cut her out of my life, but she's still attached to other people that are in my life. She stalks me on social media, so I've had to block her, and I've had to block all of my cousins too, because I blocked her and she started using my cousins to stalk me online and talk shit about me at like family gatherings. So my last one, I know it was the cancer reading. Pretty sure it was a cancer reading. I was making a joke about how I had come out here to do this, and a random man came and acted like he was fishing when he was really like watching me. So I like made a joke about why would a man be there, which is like, you know, it's a meme. It's an internet thing. So my aunt that's a lot older than I am watches my yeah, putting yourself back on the throne, taking your self-worth back from people that try to put you down. She watches everything I do, and she talks shit about me and tries to make me seem like the failure of the family, compares me to everybody else, makes fun of me. So she watched it and she was like, oh, so Rachel just thinks she owns the river. And it's like, I know you don't experience the thing where you're trying to do something alone and like a man shows up and makes you uncomfortable because you don't leave your house ever, and you know, men don't give you as much attention as they used to, like, and you also don't get jokes because you don't have a very good sense of humor. Like, I'm sorry that that's your life experience, but like that doesn't mean that you have to like destroy my joy and destroy the joy of people that like to watch these, you know? So it's one of those things that you have to recognize that 9 times out of 10 people that try to tear you down or make you feel rejected, it's because they don't feel good about themselves. It's because they're jealous of you in some way. It's because their life experience is different than yours, and they couldn't understand the concept of like, I'm out here in like, you know, a bathing suit by myself. I don't really want a strange man with like, you know, could possibly have a weapon on him to like come down here and make me feel uncomfortable, you know? Like, he was doing it to intrude upon my space, and I was making a lighthearted joke about it, but like I'm allowed to have that experience and like have a reaction to it. I don't have to just like allow the world to bully me and not say anything because like some random woman in her home that is like unattractive is upset that I would have a different experience. You know what I mean? That's a little harsh, but like, whatever. You say terrible things about me, don't dish things out that you can't take back. Yeah, there's going to be a renewal in your creativity because you find your passion again from these people that are narcissistic, that try to, I don't know what that is. Don't make fun of my cards being dirty. I'm in the river with my cards. I try to take care of them. I told you, it's that sort of energy. Is it fun for me to get up here and talk about my family in that way? No, but I mean, like, at some point I have to defend myself, don't I? At some point I have to say, like, I have 2 eyes and a brain, and I can see what's happening, and just because it's like not I would say not kosher, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It's just because it's not the like nice thing. I don't have to be nice. People are rarely nice to be, you know? Why do I have to be nice to people that are not nice to me? This is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. Is a concept that I think has been really helpful for me, but I know it's a trigger warning. I will trigger warning you. Um, have an open mind. Have an open mind. I would not be good at my job if I didn't study all religions and have a basic understanding of all religions. Okay, let's hear me out. There is a concept in Satanism. There's a concept in Satanism where it's do unto others how they would do unto you, and it's not a tit for tat thing. It's in reference to I think it's called soliloquism. Not everybody is you. Not everybody is like you. So when you treat other people the way that you want to be treated, a lot of times you will be treated unfairly, especially if you're just a good person and you look out for people and you're loyal and you're trustworthy. Most people are not like that. Most people are looking to get one over on people. Most people are jealous. Most people are passive aggressive, competitive. Most people live in a lack mindset where if you get something, then that takes away from me. So when you live your life, let me live by this code where I take care of everybody around me and everybody else is using me as a punching bag. At some point, like, there's a breaking point. At some point, you have to stop allowing people to do that to you. So I really like that concept in Satanism, because it's not a tit for tat. You do something dirty to me, so I'm going to do something dirty back. It's a concept of recognizing that I have to take stock of who you are as a person and handle you and handle our relationship in regards to the way that you show up. So if you show up in a way that's abusive, then I have the right to, hit back when I need to. I have the right to defend myself. And it doesn't really matter how you feel about that. You can think I'm a bad person, but your opinion doesn't matter to me. Yeah, somebody wants to try to isolate you because they blue is throat chakra. They try to stop your self-expression. They try to stop you from renewing. They try to stop you from grounding into who you are and coming out of isolation. It's people that are jealous. Some people, that is how, like, some people, everybody does witchcraft, okay? Everybody does witchcraft. People that are spiritualists, that are witches, just know what the fuck they're doing and they're intentional with it. And that's why a lot of times you can trust people that do witchcraft over people that are like really into the church, because a lot of people, no offense, a lot of people that are really into the church that are bad people, and they use church as kind of a way to, mask their true identity and who they truly are, and they use their connections within the church, and they use the fact that they go to church as a excuse and as a way to say, oh, well, I can't possibly be a bad person because I go to church. I think a lot of witches that I've met, people go through a period in their witchcraft journey where they get kind of like unstable and mean, and they experiment with like hexes. That's pretty normal. It's normal because you have to go through a cleansing. But when we've been in this world for a while, most people are able to come out of it. I know a lot of people that practice like Satanism that are amazing people, and they're good friends, and they're true friends, and they're loyal, and I would trust them with my life, So it's one of those things that you have to not be so judgmental, and you have to not be so reliant on what everybody tells you is right, because I don't know. I think if you need we won't get into it. I don't have to talk about this. Don't pull my energy to make me talk about it. Yeah, you are going to rediscover your passion, and it'll help you find perfectionism and take the isolation that you experience as you deal with this as a blessing. People that leave your life because you're expressing who you are, it's a blessing. It really is. It's uncomfortable when it starts happening. I had to cut off a lot of people. I don't really have the experience of people not wanting to be around me. I have the experience of people insisting on being around me and then playing in my face like I'm stupid. That's been my experience, is that people will like push boundaries with me until they force me to put them in their place or cut them off completely. So I don't really have the experience of like, oh, I do witchcraft and now people don't want to be around me. I have an experience of, people will play with me like I'm stupid. Um, so I don't know. That's the experience. That's the like stereotypical experience that they tell you'll go through is when you start, coming out as wanting to do witchcraft, wanting to do spirituality, especially like where I grew up in the South, grew up in the church, a lot of very religious people. I'm cautious with them just because I know the judgment that they have. But I don't know. I think my energy is that where people don't want to let go of my energy and don't want to let go of the benefits of having me in their life, regardless of my views or their views. But um, they'll try to bully me or gossip or force me into a box. Or they'll just try to see how much they can do to me, passive aggressive stuff. So I've had to cut a lot of people off, and it's awkward and uncomfortable when it's like the people that you spend a lot of time with or the people that were in your life for a long time. But peace is way more important than connection sometimes, not genuine connection. I think community and connection is one of the things that makes life great. I love connecting with other people. I love people in general, um, as a concept, not so much like face to face, just because the way people act sometimes. But there are periods, especially if you're going through a spiritual awakening, that you'll experience isolation and you'll experience people misunderstanding you and people trying to put their think of the word I want to use, not shortcomings, but you know people project their own issues onto you as a way to self-soothe. But honestly, your life gets a lot better when people that mistreat you leave your life. I have never regretted cutting somebody off ever. I've regretted drifting apart from people before because I'm a very nostalgic person, but typically when I try to reconnect with people that I've grown distant from, like, sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes we can reconnect, but a lot of times, yeah, it's moving on closure issues. A lot of times, like, I shouldn't have tried to go back and work things out with them because they haven't grown. If you're the type of person that you grow a lot and you go to therapy, and not everybody that goes to therapy is actually growing. I know a couple people that go to therapy that are the worst people I've ever met in my life. And again, it's like the Christian, church thing. They use therapy as a like, oh, well, I'm in therapy and oh, my therapist said this. And it's like, well, you're lying to your therapist, or your therapist is equally terrible because the way you behave is like a toddler. Yeah, listening to ego, healing inner child. It's better to keep your circle small, especially if you're trying to grow. If you're not really interested in growth and you like where you are, then continue to do what you do. Do you. I'm not saying that, but if you're trying to grow and things are uncomfortable with people in your life and people are trying to leave your life, just let them. It makes space for new people to come into your life. I don't try to force connections with people anymore, and when people drift apart, um, sometimes there's room for reconnection and sometimes there's just really not, because I'm not the same person I used to be. And it makes space for new people to enter your life when you're not spending all your time trying to be around people that make you feel shitty anyway. Yeah, this is somebody trying to watch you from a distance, Taurus. It's a gaslighter. It's somebody that tries to control your perception of things. They try to control your perception of you. Yeah, it's an energy of this person. They might be looking at your social media a lot. They might like look at if you have an Instagram, especially because it's like photographs. They want to talk to you. There's going to be a sudden change that happens with this person, or somebody new, because opening your heart, you are opening your heart Yeah, sorry, it's a weird energy that's coming through. Um, there's an ending, so it's like an ending with a karmic connection is allowing for somebody new to come in. So there's somebody new that wants to come into your life, but there's also somebody old. Um, I somebody that wants to come back. I mean, maybe they are old. I don't know. I didn't mean to say old as an age, but if it came out, maybe it was meant to come out. Maybe they are old. Somebody wanting to come back towards you. Um, I would be careful though, because the person wanting to come back towards you, did you see where I got those energies kind of, they tried to embed in each other? Some people with darker energy, especially like dark triad type of people, they will try to mask other people's energies. That's why if you've ever been around a narcissistic person and they start like trying to like basically act like you, they'll start trying to like dress like you, they'll pick up your interests, your music tastes, they'll try to like morph into a version of you. It's so that you'll let them into your life and you'll trust them. um, Certain people with dark energy mask in other people's energy. So there's somebody from your past trying to come back that's trying to mask in an energy of like, yeah, I love you so much and I've been thinking about you. I get that this person is very opportunistic, and yeah, that's why I said it's a one-sided relationship. They're narcissistic, so they're gonna act like you do have someone coming towards you that you're going to open your heart to. It's going to be a good connection. There is somebody else coming back that's going to try to take on that person's energy, if it makes sense. I would be careful if you are aware somebody is stalking you. Make like, if you can, lock down your if you feel called to, lock down your social media if you need to. Be careful about like, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. The new person that you're dealing with, I would keep it, you don't have to like keep it private. I would not post about it a lot. A cardinal might be significant. I see a cardinal right there. Cardinals typically are like ancestral energy. It can be like an ancestor's near you. Um, be careful about sharing a new connection online, because somebody from your past is like stalking you, and they might try to like it's energy manipulation. They're trying to like mess with your, where that perception, they're trying to mess with your reality basically, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, then like if this reading is just so confusing and you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's probably just not a reading for you. And it doesn't matter that you have a Taurus sun. This is not how this stuff works. Your rising sign is the one you need to be watching. Your moon sign, your Venus, your Mars, sun. Sun will resonate in some senses, but it's not going to connect to your physical reality. That's your rising sign. There's a transformation that's going on in your life right now. I'm probably gonna end this. Yeah, you're gonna have clarity. The truth is coming out that you need it for yourself. There we go. Your old life is falling away, Taurus. That's what I'm getting to. Your old life is falling away, and there are people from your old life that still watch you and that still try to have control over you and put you down and try to fit you into what they think you should be. Yeah, have the strength to walk away. Boom. Walk away. Chariot and strength card could be a Leo or a Cancer that you're dealing with, but walk away. Don't fall back into old habits. Yeah, follow your intuition. These people are somebody, it might have been like a childhood friend or somebody from your past trying to come back. They're narcissistic. They don't want to let you go because they get something out of the connection with you, but that's all it is. They're an opportunist. They are looking for something from you, to take something from you, and they want you to compromise your sense of self. So you have new people coming towards you, but if you fall back with this old person, they're going to intentionally pull you off your path. So be conscious of who you're connecting with, and be conscious of what you're posting online, because there are people that are stalking you right now. Okay, bye.